Beneath nearly 4 kilometers of ocean lies the forgotten heart of the RMS Titanic, a world of rust, silence, and time itself. For the first time, we descend through the Orlop Deck and tank top, where the ship still breathes and history sleeps beneath the deep. In the forward cargo hold of the RMS Titanic, silence reigns where industry once thrived. Crates lie shattered, beams are bent, and golden clouds of sediment drift like memories in motion. Here, time is thick and heavy, a century of stillness layered in rust and dust. Every shadow tells a story of what was once alive, now resting forever beneath the deep Atlantic gloom. A narrow corridor stretches through the Orlop Deck, walls of iron, floors buried in silt, and broken rivets glinting faintly in the dark. The ROV moves carefully, tracing the ship's forgotten arteries. Each turn reveals decay reclaimed by life, coral threads, silent current, and the soft echo of time breathing through Titanic's empty hallways. The mailroom, once filled with letters, dreams, and destinations, now lies collapsed and silent. Torn pouches scatter across the floor, like the ghosts of messages never delivered. Paper has turned to dust, and brass clasps rust quietly in the cold. It is not just a room, it's a frozen whisper of human connection, sealed within the ocean's endless night. Within the deep machinery decks, giant cooling pipes stand corroded and motionless, relics of the ship's silent lungs. The light glides across twisted steel, and ancient frost stains turn to rust. Even here, where cold once ruled, life has returned: glowing fish, soft coral, and drifting dust that moves like breath in a mechanical graveyard. A tunnel built for strength and motion, now entombed in stillness. The fireman's passage stretches ahead, lined with rusted pipes and hanging algae like ancient vines. The sign, "Firemen Only," still clings to the wall, a relic of order amid chaos. Every echo of the deep feels like footsteps long gone, fading through Titanic's buried veins. Darkness and dust swallow the coal bunker, where once men shoveled fire for the heart of the ship. Now, the black heaps lie silent, blanketed in marine snow and bronze sediment. Chains hang heavy in the current, swaying like pendulums of forgotten labor. In this chamber, energy became history, and history became silence. The tank top corridor aft is a tunnel of steel bones and drifting dust. A tilted door reads, "Boiler Access," its letters faint beneath rust. Shadows move like slow tides through the frame. It's here, where sound disappears completely, that the deep reminds us, even iron can breathe when time and water make it their own. The lower boilers stand colossal in the dark, silent monuments to the ship's power. Rust glows like embers beneath the ROV's light, and the water trembles with low echoes. Where heat once roared, now bioluminescent life flickers softly, a cathedral of steel and silence, where the Titanic still exhales through the sea. Pipes and valves stretch through the water tank section like arteries of a sleeping giant. Every surface drips with rust and life coral, worms, and faint blue light from unseen organisms. Along the walls, the words Titanic W.T. remain etched in steel. Here, pressure and time have written their own story, a balance between ruin and rebirth. In the electrical room, the ship's silent heartbeat rests beneath layers of dust. Wires hang like veins, bulbs glow faintly under algae, and control panels crumble into the silt. Then, for a fleeting second, the light catches a reflection, a shimmer like electricity awakening from a century of sleep. The Titanic still hums, quietly, in the deep. Beneath the ship's massive boilers lies the pump room, a labyrinth of gears and valves, now silent under a century of water. Once it roared with pressure and purpose. Now it whispers in rust and sediment. A pressure gauge still points to zero, unmoved since the moment the lights went out. Time has stopped here, and the ocean listens. In the storage compartment, wooden crates crumble into dust, coral blooms where cargo once stood, and ropes float like drifting ghosts. A single leather shoe rises through the haze, then vanishes into gold sediment. Every particle carries a memory of hands, of motion, of a world that no longer breathes. Here, the great gears of command rest in eternal stillness. Steel teeth, once turning with power, are now consumed by rust and coral. A bent shaft gleams faintly, echoing the ship's last effort to steer through chaos. Even in death, the Titanic's will to move still lingers frozen beneath miles of silence. The aft orlop lies fractured, filled with shadows and drifting dust. Beams lean, plates twist, and broken panels hover in the current. Through a gap in the steel, faint light filters in a memory of the world above. For a moment, something small and metallic turns in the dark, glinting like a thought that refuses to fade. Here, power once thundered. Valves, pistons, and pipes now lie buried beneath layers of golden dust. The floor trembles with the deep ocean's pulse. A single brass plate catches the ROV's light engraved with the year 1000, 912. It glows for an instant, then fades, as if the ship itself remembers its birth and its end. The hydraulic room breathes slow and heavy. Twisted pipes, shattered cables, and oily sediment line the floor. Tiny bubbles drift upward, carrying whispers from the ship's buried systems. Then, for a heartbeat, a glowing fish passes through the beam, a flash of light that vanishes like memory itself. Tangled ropes float in still water like dark veins of the past. Iron hooks sleep beneath layers of gold dust, and nets curl into spirals of decay. For a moment, the ropes tremble, and from the silence, a deep-sea eel emerges, gliding through the maze before disappearing into the dark forever. Where laughter once echoed, only the deep remains. The bunks lie rusted and bare, their blankets dissolved into silt. A tin cup rolls slowly across the tilted floor, its metallic sound carrying through the water like a fading bell. This is where life once rested now, only stillness dreams. A heavy iron hatch guards the stern passage, its hinges fused by time. The ROV's light reveals scratches and streaks across its surface, the last marks of motion before silence took hold. Then, the current shifts. The door stirs, opens slightly, and closes again. Nothing passes through, and yet something lingers. At the very bottom of the Titanic, the world glows faintly blue. The mud reflects starlight from living organisms, tiny constellations, born of decay. White coral, scallops, and sponges breathe where the ship's last breath settled. A swarm of glowing amphipods passes through, leaving a trail of light as if the ship's soul is finally leaving the deep.